Hi guys, I'm Ryan Newton and welcome to my fly tying channel. If you haven't already done so, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. That'll keep you up to date with everything as I upload it. My channel already contains hundreds of videos covering a wide range of both patterns and techniques, from the basic to the more advanced. So without delay, let's get on with the show. Okay, so we're going to tie an unusual version of a dog nobbler here. This is Young's dog nobbler, and you'll see why as we go along, but this is a standard sort of lure hook. This is a B830 Kamazan, the size 8. And I'm using a nano silk. So if we take our shank here, and I'm just going to coat it in super glue. I'm going to take my lead wire, and I'm going to go from about halfway here, and I'm stopping about 3 turns short of the eye, maybe 2 to 3 turns short of the eye, and I like to snap it off, as that I think sort of tapers it in and gives me a little bit less of a step. So with that done, I'm going to coat the lead in some super glue. A little bit off the front, a little bit off the back, and that just helps my thread wraps just to stick to it and to secure it in place. So we'll take our thread back then to the barb. So tail on this fly, I'm going to use a chartreuse marabou. So I stripped a bunch of that off the side of the feather. I'm going to lay that up on top here. I'm going to tie it up to the back of my lead wire and fold it back on itself, and this way I'm reducing the step to the wire. I'll tie that back, and then I'm going to take a Mirage pearl, 2 strands, tie that in and flip it back on itself so that it then becomes 4 in the tail. Then I'm going to take another bunch of my chartreuse marabou, and I'm going to lay that on top, so that'll sort of sandwich the tail, and my flash is therefore in the middle of it. So tail length, this is probably about twice the length of the body. So this fly has an unusual body. So it's still the chenille, but it's like a wasp coloration to it. So I've tied in a black thin chenille, and then I'm going to tie in a yellow chenille. You can see I'm tying up to the back of the, rather than just tying it in here, I'm tying it in up to where it meets the lead wire, and that helps to reduce the step. So now we're going to make a body. So you make it with the black, make it with the yellow, it doesn't really matter. So what I'm doing here is I'm wrapping the yellow, but I'm wrapping it sort of loose. They're not touch and turns. When I come to the front here, I'm going to tie it in, but you can see I'm tying it off on your side. Snip that off, pull off a little bit of the fibres from the core and just tie it in. So then I'm going to take the black chenille and I'm going to wrap it so that it goes in between the wraps of my yellow chenille, and then when it's round to my side here, I'm going to tie it off over here, and that way I don't get two tie-offs on the one side of a fly, and that will help to reduce bulk. Make it smoother. I'm just going to get a little bit of super glue and just put it onto my tie-ins here because I want it to help it to stick and remove this step for me. So now we have the standard dog Nobbler type head, so I'm going to get 3 or 4 strands of peacock herl. I'm going to tie them in by their tip over here. I'm going to run super glue gel on 2 inches or so of my tie-in thread and wrap over the bed where this is intended to lie. Then I'll flip the fly so that the tie-in thread and the peacock are at the same point. Twist it into a rope. As you can see, I'm continuing to twist here as I wrap because it will loosen itself slightly. I'll wrap towards the front, then I'll wrap back on itself until I reach the back of the head, tighten it up, and then I'm coming forward, taking it in under the eye. I'm going to flip the thing upside down because the eye, being a down eye, then as I flipped it up, it stops my thread from sliding off the front while I get this unraveled, and then I get a turn across it. It's now in place, so I can just flip it back on itself. And nick it off. So that's fly tied. I'm just going to use my super glue here like a varnish, and I'm just going to varnish the tie off of this fly. So there we have it. Young's dog Nobbler. An unusual sort of, it's a brightly coloured and contrasting play. I suppose it's to get a reaction out of fish. So if you like what you see, give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.